Rath here, answering questions on Ironman class of 2021. Got a recent question from Mike. I think it's an important question. Is when will 2020 end? Looking forward to it. I wish I had to answer that, but I mean, if you're going to go by technicality, you look at a calendar. Technically, 2020 ends by December 31st. Now, at this point in time, it seems like we've had a couple months of March here in the Midwest, a couple months of July, and now we're in a couple months of December. That's the way we can tell time has actually changed here in the Midwest is by the weather. But it was 45 degrees yesterday. It's going to be 82 degrees today, and it's going to be 45 degrees tomorrow. So really, you can't even tell by the weather nowadays what time of the year we're in. And I will admit there's some days, it seems like every day this week has felt like a Friday or a Thursday, and felt next day it was a Friday or something. The main key is how I tell passage of time is my kids. I do have a fourth grader. He is in school full time in person. I do have a seventh grader. She's at home remote, but she is doing sports. And then we've got a pre-K. She's in half day school. So that does help me tell the times, the days of the week. I've got my planner here that I write everything in. So I know what's going on, but I get you. I feel you. 2020, he seemed like the year that just would drag on, would not stop. But, I mean, the important part is you look at 70.3 Arizona did happen last week. If you're specifically talking about races on the calendar, maybe, working from home is a little bit different. I've always worked from home for the past over a year before this ever started, before coronavirus and working from home was really a thing. So to me, that's not much different. And my wife has been fortunate. She's been to work every day. She works in a hospital setting. So that passage of time is a little bit different from my perspective, but I get you. When races come back, they are coming back. We've got 70.3 Texas is going to come up November 22nd, I believe. Before that, we've got Ironman Arizona. They just did the 70.3 last weekend, like I said, so it's looking pretty good for the full. Might change the bike course. That's coming out. You got Ironman Florida. You've got Gulf Coast 70.3. It's going to happen the same day as Ironman Florida, November 7th, I believe. And then December 13-ish, you've got 70.3 Florida out in Haines City that looks like it's possibly going to happen as well. So as far as the schedule goes, 2020, there are events on the calendar still. Let's not just blow through 2020. I say that tongue in cheek, but we are going to have to find a way to kind of make this work, not just kind of throw away months and weeks and everything because, like I've been telling my athletes, train for your events if they're still on the calendar like they're going to happen. Because you just don't want to toss that and keeping that training and that structure, even if you back it down a little bit, just gives you measurable goals for the day, keeps structure, keeps you on track for something. And it's good for your mental health. It's good for motivation, get moving, get those endorphins going. But then the other spectrum is don't just, if you've got extra time, you don't have that commute anymore, don't go overboard and don't overtrain because that could lead to other issues of being chronically overtrained and chronic fatigue and all kinds of stuff. So there's a good happy balance in there. Don't just shut it all down and mail it in for the rest of 2020. Ironman, they've partnered with Final Surge, and I've done several kind of off-season gap, whatever you want to call it, like a 24-week plan that at least puts workouts out there. You can pick and choose to do some. I just do something. Keep moving every day. 2020, the end will be soon enough. But 2021, I mean, I think we're still going to be looking at dealing with the circumstances we have now. Hopefully we can prove that races are safe and that Ironman can do them. And they'll start coming back around, maybe in a limited capacity, but they'll be there. But I think for probably the first half of 2021, we're really going to have to still kind of deal with the situation. And perhaps after that, we can kind of see what comes around, whether it's vaccines, whether it's whatever the circumstances that you think are going to unfold. Hopefully by the spring and the summer of 2021, we're kind of back into a normal situation, and we'll just kind of see. But don't write off the rest of 2020, and don't write off the beginning of 2021. Take advantage of every day you got, because sometimes you just never know what's going to happen the next day. So take advantage of it. Don't just write it off, and do the best you can. Happy training.